there's some interesting things happening afoot in the National Football League just in time for a super wildcard weekend. Two missives, one on Twitter, one straight out for press release, okay? Let's start with the tweet.
Let's do it.
We know exactly what ails Lamar Jackson right now because Lamar tweeted out himself. This one came out shortly after we went off the air yesterday. Lamar Jackson letting us all know what's going on with his knee, and it is no bueno. He tweets out, "Thank you, everyone, for your support and concerns regarding my injuries. I want to give you all an update as I'm in the recovery process. I've suffered a PCL grade 2 sprain on the borderline of a strain 3. There is still inflammation surrounding my knee, and my knee remains unstable. I'm in good spirits as I continue with treatments on the road to recovery. I wish I could be out there with my guys more than anything, but I can't give 100% of myself to my guys and fans. I'm still hopeful we still have a chance. And I'm imagining the chances to play in Sunday night's Super Wild Card Weekend triple header capper. On NBC, we had Mike Tirico on earlier this week to talk about it. Ravens at Bengals. And it sure looks like Tyler Huntley, and if he can't go because he didn't go last week, and I proffer to say he didn't go last week to make sure he was healthy. They sat him down, fully aware that Lamar might not be back for Sunday night football, or at the time they knew for a trip to Cincinnati, most likely. And this is not good news. I said it earlier this week, and I know I'm not going on a very long, thin limb here. The Ravens need this guy. Maybe more than they've ever needed him before, because their wide receiving core is, as Stuart Scott would call it, spandex thin. And Mark Andrews is absolutely the guy that the Bengals are circling in their defensive meetings this week. Like, that's the one guy. Let's just cover him. We cover him and then make sure Dobbins doesn't run all over us with Gus Edwards. We're good. Joe, Jamar, Tyler, T, hey, Joe, the other Joe, Mixon, hey, give us 21, 24, we're good. We'll get through it. Lamar shows up, different story. Your head's on a swivel. You don't know who's got the football. That's when the Ravens are at their best. Who's got it? Who's got it? Dobbins have it? Does Edwards have it? Does anybody else that's probably not on your fantasy team all year long have it? Who's got it? We don't know who has it. Oh, that guy's got it. He's wide open down the field. That's their offense. That's it. And then they play defense. And you let Roquan Smith, who is going to be playing his first playoff game, and by the way, his first game is a professional, paid, is how he shows up in his first playoff game. Boy, do they need Lamar. And now that you hear this, you're like, man, this Ravens season is in trouble, despite how good their coach is, or despite how good some of their skilled players and defensive players are. Got to have Lamar. That's simple. End of story. And it looks like they're not going to get him. That's one way to look at this tweet. These two tweets. The other one is, why are you letting us know about this? Every aspect of Lamar's season will inform what happens this offseason. Again, I think he's going to get franchise tagged at the end of the day. And I say that as that's the way the Ravens aren't going to let him walk. They don't want him to walk. I mean, they have reconfigured their entire organization to revolve around number 8, offensively, everything else. And the everything else is also to make sure that nobody says a crossword or could even have it construed as a crossword about Lamar Jackson. Not a whiff coming out of Baltimore that this longer than expected hiatus is contract related or in any way, shape, or form related to anything that Lamar has done or not done or hasn't done hard enough or isn't willing to do hard enough. Nothing. The Ravens have kept it quiet in a way fewer teams, let's put it that way, will coordinate. And he's putting it out there about his injury information? Because I don't know. Is that because he's wondering what the fans are thinking? Hey, I want all the fans to know. Somebody around him is just like, you got to let everyone know what it is, Lamar. Because for anybody out there talking about you not wanting to do it because it's money related, or you not wanting to do it because you're concerned about the knee long term, got to get it out there. Because it certainly isn't the Ravens putting it out there. And if any of you out there are thinking, this is an unfair way to look at it. Lamar's just being himself and putting himself out there in a way that a team definitely doesn't want. Your team, NFL teams, coaching staffs do not want this type of information out there. It informs too much for the opposition, should Lamar go. And also, they've done, everything publicly, and again, from what I'm hearing privately, to keep this information quiet so Lamar can just do his thing and get back whenever he can. And if anybody out there is thinking, there's no criticism that is worthy of being sending direction of Lamar for tweeting this stuff out. What if Big Ben had done it? What if Ben Roethlisberger, who spent, a decade and a half plus Hall of Fame years, first ballot Hall of Fame years in the NFL, number of times he would get ripped nonstop because he's way too eager to let you know just how hurt he is. So when he comes back, you're like, wow, that's a superhuman effort, or what have you.
Oh, look at him.
Right?
Yeah.
So sure. Just as a visual, we have the same presentation, radio audience, on our Roku channel feed of the tweets, as if Big Ben had tweeted them out. What if Ben had tweeted out, oh, by the way, great job on Mike Hoskins to change the purple hearts
I just
to Steeler yellow hearts. Well done, Hoskins.
Great.
Devil is in the details, isn't it? Look at that. What if Ben had tweeted out, oh, my knee, it's got a grade 2, bordering on a grade strain 3, and, it's still inflamed. I'm in good spirits, though, Wish I could be out there with my guys more than anything, but I can't give 100% of myself to my guys and fans. Still hopeful. Might be out there.
This is just a juicy steak dinner for all the Ben bashers, like myself, to kind of go after. Wouldn't
everyone go after Ben for doing that?
Yeah, but we all know there's levels, man. Some people have earned better favor than others. Like the Skip Bayless tweet, it went nuts and people hated it because it was him. Had someone else
a reputation,
had a different, maybe massaged it differently and put it out, it would not have caused an uproar. That's why sometimes, because Ben doesn't have that favor and Lamar does have that favor.
No question about it.
Could this be the beginning of something else? That's the whole thing with Lamar and the Ravens right now. That would be obviously quieted in 2 seconds flat if he shows up, balls out in Cincinnati, and sends the defending AFC champions home one and done on Sunday night, whole country watching. Sure doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And that's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. I just wanted to give you those two ways of looking at it. One in which is like, damn shame. And two, it's like, what is that? And how will that inform the Ravens as they move along long term? Or is it an indication that Lamar isn't comfortable with the way the Ravens are handling him? That's a fair question to ask, because the Ravens have put it out there that, everything John Harbaugh has said is like, I'm not with the rehab team. He's with the rehab team. And when I hear from the rehab team, he's ready to practice. Boy, will I be excited. In the meantime,
have you ever heard the coach say that? Something like that before?
No, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like I'm just coaching the team. Doctors tell me when somebody's available, and I'll plug him in. Absolutely. And then you also hear, he's in good spirits. He's covering the bases for Lamar. We love him. I will always love him. And then he tweets out exactly what's wrong with his knee. It is kind of like an eyebrow archer. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.